All right, shalom, shalom. I want to start by, of course, giving all honor, praise, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Makakodash, the wonders of the Mashanakabah, Lazaquan, Charles Widarwakah, which is given the wonders of the elder apostle, Gary Mill, son, ruler, and teacher in ancient Hebrew tongue. And what I got today pretty much is just a me putting my little, adding my little input, to just being inspired by the video that Apostle Ramlab had did, which was inspired by something that was mentioned from Apostle Tahar about One West, So this is just a read to One West, walk and talk, One West, whatever you want to call it. But just get right into it. The scriptures and the book of First Timothy, or second, paraphrasing. The scriptures say, let the elders be counted of double honors. Which that's a lawful scriptural in the Lord. We know the Lord dwelleth in the midst of the scriptures. Which you got a lot of jakes, that they come up against the scriptures, and they pretty much just do everything, just like Esau, they twist everything that's in the scriptures, which we know that Apostle Ramlab, Apostle Ramlab, Apostle Tahar, Apostle Gabar, Apostle Rakah, Abba Bivens, the whole seven, that pretty much, came out with this doctrine, really starting with Abba Bivens, who is if you can receive it, is Elijah and the reincarnation, because the scriptures talk about that. The scriptures talk about that, where the scriptures say, I will send you Elijah the prophet, roughly paraphrasing. I think that's Micah or Malachi, where the scriptures talk about how the Lord's gonna send prophet Elijah. Talking about the latter days. Which that was that the 1950s, 1960s. When he was on the scene, and he was coming. Lord was putting the spirit, put the spirit of his doctrine out here through him. Even to the extent of an angel visiting him. I heard a story about how Abba Bivens, pretty much an angel, appeared, and his an angel pretty much appeared in his kitchen, and I think it was mentioned that he was the angel was going over the Paleo Hebrew alphabet with him or something like that. So, which I believe that through the spirit and power of Yahweh, I believe that, which is not too far fetched. You even got Edomites. You got Edomites coming out here. Talking about experience, records of dark skinned African American looking. What did he say? He said, beings who who mention how they conquered most of the galaxy. Which so it's not far-fetched, and we know that that's the truth. We know that is the true description of Yahushua and the angels, dark-skinned men, which that's that's the root of all things. You know, uh, everything. Pretty much go back. To men being melanated. Uh, you know, the leprosy. Which Esau. You know what I'm saying? What's that? Revelations 2:9. I know them who say they are Jews and are not. I know the blasphemy of them who say they are Jews and are not. Esau has always tried to, paint this depiction of himself being a god. You know what I mean? That's also why the scriptures say that in Obadiah, who sitteth in the seat of the Most High, showing himself that he is the Most High. He always, try to paint himself as being a god. Even now, even for example, the Renaissance period. When they went through and pretty much had stolen and destroyed, the original paintings of the prophets, which they still have those today. When you go to Russia, I forget what that it's like a museum or Coliseum, if I'm saying it right. Museum. I forget exactly what it's called, Slovakia, but they still have those melanated depictions, paintings of the prophets. There. Matter of fact, it was like I don't know who this guy was. It was like an Edomite. You know what I mean? They be having like those so-called royal garments on, how they be dressing. Over there in Jerusalem. Like the Pope be. I seen a picture of him, one of those. I don't exactly know exactly who he was, but you know what I mean. He seemed to be some sort of really he's a sorcerer, but he seems to be have some sort of ties to like the Pope, and pretty much, he had a painting of a dark-skinned prophet, on the top of his crown or hat, was all the proof is there. Esau has the proof. He digs it up all the time. It's history. You know what I mean? It's a mystery, but it's also history. It's a mystery, but it's also history. You can't hide what's history because if Esau, being as wise as he is, the scripture say, he's wiser than Daniel. The Lord has allowed him to reach, some point of intelligence. But if Lord keep putting a spirit on him to dig up all these relics and stuff from ancient Rome and these other even older empires like ancient Greece. So and a lot of that was created by Jake's, man. The scriptures say Jacob is the former of all things. So a lot of these things that Esau come across when he digging and into the earth and finding and coming across different lands, where historic events happen, like I think somebody found the Noah's wife up on a pillar, and the ark, which was somewhere near Europe, which was found. I'm kind of like recalling all the things that I can remember just based off of the history and tying into current events, like Esau coming across things, man, because it happens all the time. Once again, all of these empires that were before this, it's just history. So if Esau come across it, it just furthermore proves that the scriptures ties into history. That's nothing more, nothing less. And we know that what we teach is true. Because it's nothing else that's filling that slot. It's nothing else that's filling a lot that the scriptures has fulfilled. Dealing with history, tying into prophecy and current events. You see, but once again, that's why we give to one to the elder apostle Great Millstone, because these are the men whom the Lord allowed to receive this verse. Lord, raise up the elders, the elder apostles, man. Then the elders under them, and now we come, into their labors. The scripture that said, you have entered into other men's labors. It's true. We've entered into other men's labors. And we continue that labor today, Lord, when we be those men that continue with all the way into the end. But that's the that's pretty much the breakdown. All the way down to the name. You know what I mean? The name of the Lord, Yahweh, Yahweh Shai. Everything, man. The breakdowns and revelations that's the Lord had allowed the apostles to receive. We wouldn't have these several breakdowns if it wasn't for the Lord putting the Spirit on certain men. So that we'd be able to receive it. And once again, it's all about the elect. It's not about us coming across this knowledge. It's more so about the elect being sealed. Just through the understanding of it. Like the scripture say once again, let the elders be counted of double honors. Because and this thing goes all the way back to One West. Starting in about the 1850s and 60s. But of course you had splits in the midst of One West. Certain men, came off of the doctrine, that was taught in One West. The apostles dealing with the what was that? Cornelius being an Israelite. Which that's just the Lord once again. Causing stumbling blocks. Which those stumbling blocks still exist today. You still got guys who think that Cornelius, is a Edomite. And don't really understand the full breakdown of Israelite foreigners. Like certain like the Gentiles and throughout the scriptures also being referenced as Israelites. Who look like the heathen nations. But this was just goes to show, like, just the same confusion that was going on in the midst of One West, it still exists today. We still dealing with those same demons, so those same spirits. It's just gotten worse, man. Because the numbers, of bug outs, under these, wicked doctrines, have increased, drastically. But also, you have, the amount of men of the Lord, you know what I mean? Coming into the fold, the Lord is selling more and more like men, which that's all, I believe that, we almost out of here, because I believe that, the elect is almost sealed, if not already sealed, but, like the scripture saying, their line is going out throughout the four corners of the earth, you know what I mean? So, the apostles and elders, they didn't taught the truth, and you got elder brothers out the country, man. That's teaching us the exact same thing. We all in the same accord. No discord. You know what I mean? Which are all stemmed once again out of One West. But once again, you have the Lord, chosen particular spirits out of One West. You know what I mean? To further push the true doctrine. I mean the true doctrine. The 100% truth. Because a lot of guys out of One West, they don't even teach the 100% truth. They don't believe that, anybody on the earth has the 100% truth. But we do, once again, under the other apostles, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shai Shai. We still finding out, not every mystery is revealed, right now. We still finding out, different prophecies throughout the scriptures, and different breakdowns that's in the scriptures. You know what I mean? That the Lord been putting the spirit on certain men to receive and break down. You know what I mean? Through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shah. But it's just a continual, learning process. You know what I mean? Which us brothers, we pretty much grateful, for the work that's been done, through the elder apostles, you know, um, up in their age, you see, because really, it's a law in the scriptures that's dealing with how, really once you get up in a certain age, you really don't even have to teach the scriptures. You can retire. You know what I mean? But you still got the elder apostles, doing that work, man. And we walking in the same stead. You know, once again, like scripture quoting, going into other men's labors. I'm thinking of Sirach chapter 31, where it talk about the son, the chastening of a son or something. I'm paraphrasing Slakia. Slakia is slipping. But we pretty much sons. Under the elder apostles. A great millstone. So which you still got camps out here that's pretty much not under the banner. You know what I mean? But still yeah, look at all the sweet life it's lacking. But you still got camps that's pretty much under the banner, not under the banner of GMS, you know what I mean? But they still, do the work, and give double honors, and teach the same exact doctrine, which that's a complete different thing from, starting up your own camp and coming up with a doctrine made by some young, nigga, who ain't giving double honors to nobody, and just coming up with all these bizarre doctrines, man, which ain't backed up, really, or even, re-looked over by elder men, such as the elder apostles who've been doing this thing. At least, if you're gonna come out with a bizarre breakdown, at least, come to, somebody who's been doing it before you to see if it's correct or not. But I gotta end this, because, my phone. But Lord's going to edify and thought I was shall forgive me spiritual lesson. Next time I say shalom, Bob, shalom.